What's up, guys? Welcome back to another beautiful interview. Rise to Elevate podcast, interview 66. And you already know, I got the only Giovanni, the legend, the one and only Joi Giovanni.
What's happening?
And it's been a privilege to having you come on here. And, you know, I've already kind of apologized. And,
No.
you know, we ain't going to talk about it and dig into it. But thank you for being so, like, not just patient, but accepting and allowing who you are. And I want to say the mess ups and stuff like that, because it wasn't a huge mess up on my end, but it's something that bothered me. So thank you for being very like open about it. Like seriously, you're one of a kind.
Thank you.
Because you know how it is. But other than that, I do got the Joi Giovanni. Y'all know who this is. I know I say that a lot, but I'm bringing in some of the most iconic Charleston people.
That.
You know what I mean? Well, I mean, it's the truth though. Like, I think everybody knows who you are, and I think that's something you kind of like got to take more appreciative. You know what I mean? Because you grind.
Hard.
Shoot, I didn't even know, just to keep it a buck, that she started doing acting first. Like, that would blow my mind. So that means you already see. I know a lot of people see the switch.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll dig into that a little later. I just wanted to kind of give you an introduction.
Yeah.
Because I've been waiting to do this one for a while. Shout out to Little Jack. Thank you for connecting us, because I love, you know, not just meeting more, I would say, driven people, but people who are like dedicated for this, that been through the worst things and still made it out, you know, because Lil Jack's been through a lot too, so you know, we're unique, you know. So anyways, let's dig into it. Where are you from?
I am originally from Washington, D.C.
Wow.
Yeah, a long way from home.
That's crazy. I would not think that.
Yeah, it's a long way from home.
So did you go to elementary school there too and stuff?
No, so actually what happened is my parents divorced, and then my mom transferred down here because she was military. So then I kind of like grew up down here. We went back probably like once around like when I was 11. Only went back for about 2 years.
So you're a military kid.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that? Like, I mean, not say happy because it's not like nothing you can control, but it's like, is this something that you're proud to say? Because, you know what I mean? Some people, man.
It wasn't really too bad. It's just that, you know, with my mom, that's probably where I got like my drive from, because my mom dedicated so much time to work. You know what I mean? So I think that was just like the only downside to it. You spend a lot of time by yourself, but you know, it kind of works out too, because you kind of figure out your own individuality as a kid. You know, you're trying to figure out like, well, what
plus you're getting structured. Were your parents very structured from the military?
My mom is extremely structured. She had mom had a daily schedule for us. Like, you're gonna wake up at this time, clean this time, eat lunch this time.
See, I want to laugh, but sorry, Andrew, I love you, but our kid is gonna be on that, because I'm not playing, bro. I need you to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at 9 a.m.
It was so structured. Like, oh my God, it was crazy. At one point I was like, damn, she's kind of like OCD with it. But you know, it works out because it helps me as far as like being organized with everything I have going on and creating my own.
I think it shows for it. If that
definitely does.
It
definitely does.
You were very professional since I first met you. I'm not saying I don't take anybody that I've done interviews with serious, but it's like I take you serious.
I appreciate it.
So thank you for even being who you are, and shout out to Madre for making you who you are too.
And mommy.
Yeah. But that was straight facts. It's crazy already. It's only been 4 minutes.
That's it.
But this has been overdue. I was gonna ask you though, so like not even just saying like military in general though, but like growing up with your people, like your mom and dad, is that something you take for granted? Because like some people do. And as much as we don't want to talk about it, I know some people take their parents.
So like for me, I grew up with my mom. You know, my dad wasn't there. You know what I mean? So like growing up with my mom, I used to take that for granted a lot of times. I think for me, once it got into like my older years and then realizing the vices that my mom had, it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I should have kind of appreciated those moments than I had her when she was normal. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like now I can't get those moments. You know what I'm saying? I can only get what I can get from her. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, it sucks, but at the same time, it just made me value my mom a lot more. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I most definitely took her for granted when I was younger. Used to have a whole lot of anger, resentment. You know, dad's not there. You hear all the time, where he at? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, as a grown woman now, you realize like, damn, she really took that on by herself. You know what I'm
it,
saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? She could have left, you know what I'm saying? But
or gave up.
Or gave up, you know what I mean?
That's something that a lot of people do. I don't want to, like, not say touch base on it too much, but it's just something I feel like some people would want to talk about, or even know what's going, like Joi Giovanni and her story. So
most definitely.
I was going to also ask, do you think that, the question was right there on the tip of my tongue. I was going to ask you, what would be some suggestions for people that do take their parents for granted? Like, what would you, like, what are ways that you could probably, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, but, like, when you started to figure out, man, maybe I should take my mom more serious. Like, just advice, only because we're talking about it.
I just feel like that for everybody, no matter where you are in life, you're going to reach a point in life where it's kind of like you just feel very much alone. You know what I'm saying? Once you start to figure out who you are and understand who you are as a person, you'll be able to understand the value of other people. You know what I mean? It's hard to see the value of another person when you don't really even understand the value of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't really appreciate it. You know what I mean? So I would just say, just really try to find yourself, be in tune with yourself, and figure out who you are as a person, because there's plenty of people around you that you're sleeping on. You know what I'm saying? That you really should take into consideration.
And that's kind of why I wanted to stay in that, because, like, that's something, I'm not saying I don't talk about a lot on the podcast, but it's not something brought about. Like, some people already kind of feel like I should be in middle school and high school right now. You know? Well, just in the conversation. But it's like, we need to touch on these certain things.
You got to.
Yeah, and it's very important. So how was middle school, though? What was middle school like?
Well, middle school was horrible.
Please don't tell me, are you another bully victim?
Man, middle school was rough for me. I thought I was part of the cool kids, you know, but, you know, time will tell. I just wasn't happy in middle school.
With yourself or just the surroundings?
With myself. I just wasn't happy. I didn't feel like I don't think I even learned what genuine friendships were until I became an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really have the genuine friendships. It was a bunch of, one minute I like you, the next minute I don't. A lot of click up stuff, you know, the mean girls. And I was big. I was not happy. I had buck teeth. I was heavy set. My mom, she normally used to always do our hair. And my mom took me to this hair salon, and I will never forget, this lady gave me the most butchered haircut I've ever had in my life. Traumatized me. Like, I had one side of my hair above my ear and the other, like, below my ear. It was just, it was
that probably played a role mentally, though.
What?
Like, how did you end up managing that? Like, was it just something you just said, I don't care what these people think about me no more? Like, this is
Like, for me, I ended up getting into sports.
What kind of sport?
Oh man, listen, I loved volleyball and I loved track, and I'll never forget 8th grade year. I went out and I tried out for both, and I didn't make it, and I cried
in
so hard. Yes, and I didn't
what
make
school?
it. So I was at Westview Middle School at the time, and when I was getting ready to go to Goose Creek High School, so you know, I did the tryouts, and I did not make the cut, and I cried so bad. And I told my mom, I was like, I want to know why I didn't make it. She was like, Joy, you didn't make it, just forget it. And I'm like, no, I want to know why. So I went back, and the coach explained to me. She was like, listen, it's not that you can't do it. We just need you to get more physically fit, because you just a little too slow. You know what I'm saying? So go home. If you really want this, work on it, and then come back the following year.
But
and that's all I needed to hear.
And you went grinding, right?
I was about to say,
like, I feel like that is the reason of everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, that was to show you that in order to put in, or in order to get what you want, you have to put in the work.
Yeah,
it wasn't just showing up and doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's cool, though. I like to hear that.
Yeah, man, you gotta put that work into it. Like, I went from being a 230-pound, 13-year-old kid, and then I took that summer and changed how I
What'd you do? Just do training?
Mainly, I mean, I did kid stuff. I went out there, got on a scooter, the bike. I spent all day. So, like, my mom, she used to go to work like around 8 o'clock every day. And so I just made it my business. I would get up when my mom was leaving for work, do all my chores, and I spent the entire day outside until she got off work.
Wow.
Yeah, so I did running and playing and just bikes and scooters and everything.
That's
and
cool.
by the time tryouts came back around, I was 155. Yeah, so
Wow.
like, and I made the team. So
Let's go.
So I mean,
she was
both teams.
not
I was not
playing.
playing. I was so heartbroken that I didn't make it.
That's crazy.
But I came back for it, man. Anything you want out here, you just gotta grind
So
for it.
did that energy and stuff like that translate to or transfer to high school too? Like, did you feel the same way? Like you were lost, kinda, you didn't know who you were, or did you end up finding yourself
for
still?
a while? Because I wasn't the typical girl.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I liked guys, but at the same time, I wasn't really into dressing girlish. I wasn't into the hand makeup. All I cared about was making sure I had Jordans on my feet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I had grills in my mouth. Like, I was that girl. You know what I mean? I just cared about sports. Like, that was really it. So for a while, I was just like, well, what is she? You know, kids are crazy how they think. Like, what is she? Like, what she got going on? Like,
Right.
you dress like this, but you act like this. Like, you know, are you confused? Like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I'm me. I'm comfortable in my skin. I feel like, you know, one day if I wanted to dress like a boy, I could dress like a boy.
So did you
know what I
like
mean?
learn that at, because it probably wasn't middle school you learned it, but what high school or what grade did you learn all that? Like, was it like junior years, you know?
I want to say it probably was like
it
my
had to be high
sophomore
school.
year.
Yeah.
It probably was like my sophomore year. It just got to a point where it's just like, if you're gonna like me, you're gonna like me for who I am. Like, I don't have to switch up who I am for anybody to like me. You know what I mean? And those people aren't genuine. You know what I mean? If you gotta switch yourself up for somebody else, there's definitely not a genuine
There's
relationship
not
there.
meant to be. That's actually what goes on now. Is like people get the red flag of that, and then they ignore it. Like, oh no, that's probably normal. Like, no, bro, there's people that really use you like a sponge, like a rag, and just they're laughing in the back. You know what I mean? And that's where it's scary. And like, I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie. Even doing these interviews, I be feeling that. But like, I'll never. No. I mean, it's just like it comes with being hurt, betrayed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. It's definitely not happening.
That's
but it's like, it's just the trauma type deal. So, but no, that's cool. You went to Goose Creek High School, which is something I'm very familiar with. So did you graduate and stuff? Or?
I did. I graduated from Goose Creek in 2009.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, man.
So what was after that? Like, did you start music and stuff? Or I know you said acting and stuff like that, but what started first? Like, or when did it start?
I did my first talent show in 8th grade, and the group 3LW. God, oh, y'all gonna strike me down for that. But at the time they were like really popular. So me and a school friend of mine, Ariel, we did. You know, my sister, she created choreography for us.
Right.
And we did this talent show. Everybody thought we should win, and they did not give it to us. Everybody was so mad.
You had that happen a lot.
Yeah, man. I was like, dang, what happened? But it's cool because I was like, you know, whatever. You know, people was like, yeah, you really need to do it. But I left it alone, and then I joined the choir in 9th grade. But then with choir, you either had to choose that or sports. And at the time, volleyball was kind of priority for me. So I kind of had to let that go.
Do you see that coming back in the future? I don't mean to change the subject. Like volleyball, because it sounds like you liked it.
I loved it. I don't know.
You should coach it.
I don't know. I actually had got a hamstring injury in my junior year, which kind of messed up volleyball and track for me. Yeah. So I switched to cheerleading. But yeah.
Wow, you were a jack of all trades.
Listen, my senior year, I was playing volleyball, running track, and I was cheerleading the whole year. So like, I was a very busy kid. Wow. But I don't know. I could definitely see me coaching, but not too sure with the injury how I would, you know, recover for that.
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, so after school, after I graduated from high school, I actually went to the military. So
right after high school?
Right after high school. So that actually came next. I left for basic training in July.
Fort Jackson?
Yeah, I went to Fort Jackson. Oh my gosh. Hottest place ever.
I think I've heard nothing but traumatizing experiences. Fort
Jackson is not the place you want to be between July and September. I learned the hard way.
I'm telling you, like I said, I've only heard negative stuff about that. But I mean, that's what that's there for. Yeah. It's meant to make you like.
It really is. That heat
so did it
ridiculous.
Feel like not just the whole military experience, because I don't want to talk about it too much, but like, is this something that you look back and you're like thankful for it, or did it shape you into the person you are now? I mean, of course it probably did.
I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I feel like, especially if you've been deployed, you never come back the same. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's physically or emotionally or even mentally. You know what I'm saying? You never come back the same. And you know, I had to overcome some things when I came back, but the biggest takeaway that I have from, you know, my military experience is, one, it showed me to trust myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Have faith in myself, like really believe what I'm capable of doing, because a lot of those trainings, being separated from family, you know, I got deployed at 19 years old. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You were still probably trying to figure out life.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, and then, like, I went over there with a good friend of mine from school, and like we were have like conversations about when we want to come home for like our R&R and stuff, and you know, unfortunately he didn't make it back. You know what I'm saying? So like that kind of changes your mind frame too, because as a young kid you kind of go over there with that mentality like, I'm invincible. You know what I'm saying? You don't really have an appreciation for life. And you know, when that situation happened and then coming back home, it's like, you know, I appreciate the fact that I can go to the wall and flick, you know, a light switch and it comes on, or even so much as going and taking a shower. Because, you know, like over there, we would get like a certain amount of water a day. Right. And they had to last days for the whole base. You know what I'm saying? So somebody went in there and just had this deep shower.
30-hour-long shower. You know? That prevented 5 other people from...
They might not wash today. So, you know, like that's what it was. But it definitely made me grateful. It made me appreciative of life. It made me appreciative of loved ones.
Has it helped you in your acting, music, or just being an entrepreneur in general?
It's definitely
like military aspect?
Definitely helped.
Because you've been your mom, or was it your mom that was in the military? Yeah, like that is a huge, like, you kind of already know what to expect.
Yeah, and she did not want me to go.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, mom was against it completely.
Well, yeah, I was about to I don't want to talk about it.
Mom was against it completely. She did not, you know, you got to think, like my mom, she actually, when she went in, she was like part of like one of the first female squadrons at Fort Jackson. Wow. So she went through hell, you know what I'm saying? And especially being a woman of color in the time that she went. So that was kind of hard for her. And mom was just like, I don't see it changing. Like, I don't want you to go. But I gave her an ultimatum because, you know, when I got my mind set on stuff, it's set.
You're going to do it.
And I'm like, Mom, you can either sign this dotted line, because I was too young to go. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you can either sign this dotted line for me to join the military, or I'm going to forge your signature and I'm going to join the military. Dude. You really don't have, you know, a option. But it was because, like, at the time, like I said, I had a hamstring injury, so I didn't think I was going to get a scholarship from FAMU. And that was the only, by the way, shout out to FAMU. That was the only HBCU I applied for, the only school I ever wanted to go to. And I didn't think I was going to get a scholarship for it. And it wasn't until I was like 2 weeks away from graduating basic training, my mom's like, you're not going to believe what came in the mail. And I was like, you mean I signed this line?
Wow.
I should have just waited.
You got it. That's crazy.
I signed this line for nothing.
Dude, that sucks.
No, but they gave me the option. They did give me the option that I could, the fact that the scholarship came in, I could have took my scholarship and, you know, they would have waived me because they know that, you know, that's an option for your life, you know what I'm saying?
So, but you chose the military, right?
I chose to stay, and I stayed for 12 years.
And I know you don't regret it, but would you change it if you could? Just for fun. Not saying like you probably regret your, like, what's going on now, but
I wouldn't change going into the military, but I would change which branch of the military.
What branch would you go? Navy?
No, I actually would have gone in the Air Force. And the crazy thing about it is I scored so high that the Air Force actually wanted me. But at the time, they had like a 5-year wait list. And I was just like, I don't think I want to wait 5 years.
That's insane.
To go.
That would have been cool though, because imagine if you would have gotten like everything popping, like your music career, and then you just go overseas with military, and you're like,
listen,
I don't know how. I feel like you can't even use your phone in the military like that, right?
You can, but the crazier thing too is like with the music side of things is that when I was overseas, we used to have like concerts and stuff like that, and
like just the military.
Yeah, like they bring artists over there all the time and have concerts, and you know, every week we go out there on the stage, and we always had like DJs. And we had a DJ in our unit, and he had all his sound equipment mailed over. So we would have a party every weekend, and I always was the MC.
Hey, that's hard. You're killing that.
I always was the MC.
People probably weren't even expecting it. Like,
No.
Especially new people, because new people get in the military all the time.
Yeah, all
right?
the time.
So they get in, they're like, yo, Joy, you were...
They always swapping out too. So we had people come from Fort Hood, and Fort Hood wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
So like they'll be like, yo, what are y'all getting ready to do? And we're like, we're about to do a party. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all,
Bro, that's
y'all come on, we're about to do a
I
party.
might have to go
but-
join the military.
Hey, it has its little perks to it. But no, if I could go back, I probably would have, went ahead and went to school.
Yeah.
Knowing that I had the scholarship come in. I would have went to school and then did the Air Force. But, I no regrets. Everything happens for a reason.
And I did just want to talk about it just in case, like, well, not just in case, but 5 years later, you can look back at this interview and be like, wow, I was really thinking like this, and I'm glad because it's real. That's why I love doing interviews, because we get to touch base on stuff that people don't expect.
Right.
Like, seriously, like, I would not expect all this, especially, like, not like that, but just on the like, you are very competitive in sports. Like, you've been in the military. I personally would not think you've been in the military. Like, seriously.
Most people
And
don't.
I've been following you for about like 5-6 months now. So it's like, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's just how it is. You know?
Most people don't. They always be shocked when I bring that up. They be like, you did how much? Like, how old are you? And I'm like, I'm young, but at a young age, I always knew that I wanted more out of my life, you know what I mean? And my mom used to always tell us, like, if you do decide to go, you know what I mean, you will be set for life, you know what I'm saying? You have to be committed. So it's just like, I'm blessed, because the one thing that the military did set up for me now that I'm out is that no matter what my life, I will be okay. You know what I'm saying? I will be straight. So, I think that that's a blessing in itself, but man, it came with a lot to get there.
Gone. It's just how it is. I've seen it. Like, shout out to my family. They know what's up. If you're watching, I'm sorry. I love you, Jimmy. No, I was gonna ask. So, like, even after all this, you came back, and you obviously, did you live anywhere else when you came back? You just came straight back to Charleston.
No, from the deployment. Yeah. When I came back to Charleston, and I was just like, I'm gonna stay with my mom until I can get me a house, but that didn't work out.
Well, I mean, it's not like a bad thing, because the pricing here, I don't think we probably expected it, but it went up drastically.
Yeah, but at the time, it wasn't too bad. So, like, when I came back, like, my mom, she had, like, a drinking issue, and so, like, I was trying to get her to, like, get away from that, and she wasn't with that. So I ended up homeless for a while, and I was homeless for about 3 to 4 months, I want to say. And then I started talking to this gentleman, and I pulled up to his house one day, and I had, like, all my stuff in the car, and, like, his mom was just like, walk with me outside real quick, like, I want to talk to you. And I was like, oh, this is about to go to shit. Right. But no, I will always love his mom for the rest of my life, and I always say that she's a testament to really saving my life, because his mom was just like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna let you talk to my son and live in a car. Like, get your stuff and bring it in the house.
Which you need people like that. That's like a guardian angel, And she was just like, I don't care what happens. I don't care if y'all break up. I don't care if it doesn't work. But as a young lady, that's not safe. Because I was living behind a hotel. You know what I'm saying? So I stayed with them for 6 months, and then I found this 900 square foot apartment for $495. Listen, they don't make it like that no more. No, not at all. And I moved into the apartment, and then I worked 3 jobs, went to school, and I was still doing my reserve training with the military. Wow. Yeah, that's great. So when did you start, like, taking a serious approach in rapping? Because I do want to kind of talk about that, because you are getting very popping in Charleston. So. And you just dropped the music video, Speak Up.
I did. I'm so happy.
You were part of the Cypher.
Exactly.
Like, I can go on and on. That's crazy. I remember you were part of the Cypher, but, like, I just can't believe you're one of the people. That's so cool. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, the whole Cypher, was it a cool experience? Is this something that you expected it would have been, like, when you did it, if that makes sense?
Yeah, the Cypher was dope. We had, recording everything. We had a ball. And it was really a challenge. And I think the one thing with the Cypher that a lot of people don't think about or even realize is, like, we had stipulations when it came to the Cypher.
Right.
So like when we showed up to the studio, there was no retakes. Every girl got one shot.
Wow.
You got one shot to go in that booth and do what you needed to do. If you left back out, there was no going back in, and that's how we pushed ourselves. You know what I mean? So we made that very adamant from the beginning. Don't mess up, because there's no redoing it. Like whatever you put on there, you're gonna put on there, and if it's not strong enough, you just not going to make the cut. You know what I'm saying? So that was dope in itself. The fact that I've never worked with a bunch of women.
I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna wait until you got done. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's not normal around here.
No,
especially in Charleston, or even around the whole world. I mean, you don't even. The only people I would think is like the city girls, and I know they probably link up with.
Yeah, and they're naturally already friends. But in this situation, you put 10 women in one room who don't necessarily, like, some of us knew each other, but some of us didn't. You know what I'm saying?
I can tell.
But
y'all did y'all thing, though.
The energy, and then that's the other thing too that I think people didn't understand. Like, the video came out how it came out, and the song came out the way that it came out because of the simple fact that we push positivity into each other. There was never a moment in a studio where somebody was recording and then we was on the other side like, I don't think this gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It was like you could hear when you recording that girls in the other room like, that shit go hard, like keep going. Like we were pushing each other, and it was just a beautiful experience. The video came out amazing. I think the last time I checked, we're at 84,000 views.
I didn't even know. That's crazy.
You know, it's up there. We're almost at 100.
That's crazy. Congratulations. Congratulations to everybody that was part of it. That's huge.
We did our good one on that one there. But it was a beautiful experience. And then for me, I literally wrote my first song 3 years ago.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
What was the name of it for some people that don't know?
Oh my God. So the first song I wrote was Know Me, and it was produced by Mossberg, Montana.
Oh yeah.
That was the very first song that I did, and I wrote Know Me based off of, like I said, I started with acting and modeling in Charleston, and I got ridiculed a lot when I was doing the modeling side of things. It was horrible.
Is it just like the way you dressed, or what was being taken apart?
I used to work in a men's clothing store, and with doing that, we would have, like, you know, when celebrities would come in town, they would come shopping there. Right. And so I had like a couple celebrities like, you need to do videos, you know what I'm saying? So I started out with video modeling, and that just went left because it's like, you don't got no respect for yourself. Like, how you doing this and doing that? And it's just like, y'all don't know me to have so much judgment. So when I did my first song, I was like, Bird, I'm about to talk about all this shit. Yeah, so I did Know Me. And then after that, I was just like, man, I really, really want to get into writing. And I had a lot of stuff going on at that time, a lot of heartbreak, feeling alone, lost out here in this world. And I was like, I need the perfect beat for this. And I just kept, you know, seeing Baby Breeze, Baby Breeze, Baby Breeze, you know what I'm saying? So that's my guy, okay? Love Breeze to death, to the end of time. Because I called Breeze and I was like, Breeze, you know, I know I don't rap, you know, but I really want to rap. He was like, for real?
And he's had some like banger people. Like I feel like, you know, for him to be able to trust you like that, that's a sign.
Yeah, and I never take that for granted. And like Breeze was just like, okay, well, let me know what beat you want. And you know, I picked the beat and I wrote a song to it, and I wrote the record Pen Pal, and that was the first full out song I wrote, because Know Me was just verses, but with Pen Pal it actually had the structure and everything, and you know, from there it was on. But I always will have a love and respect for Breeze. I feel like for somebody in his position to have helped me as a new artist, you know what I'm saying, any questions that I had, he had no problem answering. Any help that I needed, he had no problem being like, hey, listen, just take your time with it, you know what I mean? You don't rush it. You know, he always gave advice and good energy and positivity.
Real, recognized real. So that's what it was. Real, recognized real. Because like, man, he's a genuine person. I've interviewed him. I had him on here. Shout out to Trad TV too. That connected me. Yeah. But it's like when you meet these people that are like on that mission, right? They know what it's like to not have no one trust them, or not trust them, but believe in them. Right. So that's cool. I can't believe that your whole life story is Like,
it's crazy.
And the fact that you know how to speak it is even better, because that's what's wrong with the world now, is nobody knows how to tell their story. So when they get on spot, they want to tell where they like they're feeling. You know what I mean? They don't know how to do it. The only way to do it is like through drugs or alcohol. You know, so it's cool to just see that. So
I think people need to figure out how to tell their story, because your story can really save somebody else. I remember a few years ago I did this play called Pillow Talk, and in it I played this character, and this girl, she just was so lost in the world. But in one of the scenes that we had, which is on YouTube by the way, y'all can type in Pillow Talk 2 Secrets and Revenge and watch it. It's like 2 hours long. But on one of the scenes that we had, it was so emotional and so powerful, and I just remember that afterwards I had a young lady who reached out to me, and she said, "You saved my life." Wow. Like, that one scene gave me the courage to tell my mom what's been going on with me for years. And so I always kept that in my heart. Like, I would love to reach the masses with music, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody gets into this, they want to make it big, you know what I'm saying? For me, it's more than just making it big. If I can just save somebody's life, touch somebody from not going through the process of suicide, not going through that, just feeling alone and lost in depression, because that's the worst place to be in life. Like, if I can help somebody out that rut,
which you,
that's all I
feel like you do, because you're in not just rapping, but you're in acting. You're an entrepreneur. Like, you do all this what you do, and I feel like you're helping people. Like, you may not feel like it, but you really are. Because,
that's the goal.
And I think it's beautiful, because shout out to Lil C843. He speaks.
That's my guy.
Yeah, he speaks highly of you. So last week on the interview, when we were talking to meeting you, it meets the expectation. I see why he looks up to you, because you're a great woman. And I'm proud of you for how far you came, and that you're still here to talk, you know, because like, it's real. Like, this interview stuff it's just more than interview. It's showing people life. It's showing people you can do this too. You can do exactly what we're doing. You just have to get up and grind. You're gonna fail. You're gonna fail so many times. It's gonna hurt. Like, you're gonna cry. Like, this morning I cried. Shout out to people that stay tapped in with me through live on Instagram. But it's like, when I think about all my friends and stuff like that, it's pretty depressing. It's really depressing.
Life is hard.
It is hard. But, you know, we're doing it. Everybody's doing it. So, but I do want to ask, though, like, what drawn you into the whole acting? Like, that's probably, like, I have 3 more questions. What drawn you into acting? Like, or even writing scripts and stuff? Like, was that just you watching TV shows? Maybe, like, Power or something?
No, so when I was
Power?
I love Power.
I need to catch up on that. But that's like, I feel like that took the world for a storm. Like,
it did.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it made people really like tap into their mind. I didn't see movies like that or TV series like that being made until Power was brought up. Like, I'm really proud of 50 Cent for that.
Yeah, man. Listen, he did a great thing by creating Power, because Power opened up the door for so many other shows, you know what I'm saying? I felt like before Power, I think people were a little bit, I don't want to say
skeptical.
Like they were kind of like a little hesitant with producing things of that nature, and seeing like what might occur from that. But then from that, you get all these great movies and shows that, you know, spun off, and it even opened up the doorway for us to be able to do what we're doing with cash flow. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to that.
So that, you know, and that's coming soon. You know what I mean?
We can dig into that more if you want, real quick.
Sure. So right now we're working on this series called Cash Flow. It's headed by Courtney the Poet. We also got Cash and got Rakaya, Charleston, myself, D Mitchell. We all working on this show called Cash Flow, and it's based on this guy named Cash. His world is completely crazy. He's just coming home, and he just has no idea exactly who really is for him and who really is against him. So just to watch him go through this whole spiral of trying to figure things out, it's a lot of twists, a lot of turns. It's just amazing. And, you know, to sit there and be able to actually write a script of this magnitude, and it falls on the lines of a McGraw-Ave or the Dirty D or Power and BMF, is just like, without him having created Power, we might not have been able to get to this type of a place, because now you have networks who want things like this. You know what I mean? So
that's why I had to give 50 Cent props, because like I've never seen any of that type of like movies or scripts and stuff like that until Power came about. So
yeah,
that's crazy though, and like I do want to say I'm proud of you guys for starting that energy and the movement for that, because it's hard, especially being where we're at, because this is Charleston based, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be based throughout the entire Carolinas, which is South and North. You know what I mean? So right now we're doing casting calls in different cities. We just finished up with casting calls yesterday with Columbia, which went really, really well. We had some great talent come out. I'm looking forward to today because we got another round today.
Yeah, and where are you doing that at?
So today's casting calls will be at Twin D Studios in West Ashley.
Wow,
so
I've heard about that.
Listen, you definitely need to go to Twin Studio and do something. I just see your energy with Twin's energy in that same place.
Yeah, I've heard. Shout out to Lucas Swing.
Yeah.
Lucas Swing is there a lot. I see him there all the time. I need to go there actually. That's crazy you brought that up.
Yeah, shout out to Twin too, because when I first got started with music, you know, I cried my first session at Twin Studio.
Wow, in front of everybody?
Yeah, you know, Twin is a legend. You know what I'm saying? Twin is a real legend. And I just remember growing up, like a lot of the, you know, when you're a little kid, you look at a lot of these local artists like, oh, that's God. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were so big, you know, to us. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, to know that Twin was behind their music, and then to go to his studio, and I'm just like, okay, you can't be whack. If you whack, he's gonna tell you you're whack, and then this is gonna be embarrassing because you like really look up to him. And I just remember like going in there, and I was so nervous, and I told Twin like, I'm nervous, like you are a legend. He was just like, I'm just me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's always been so helpful when it comes down to us. You know, I was hesitant about putting out my song Speak Up, and Twin was like,
I was saying,
you got a hit.
That song was actually really good. Like, that's not
you got a hit.
Like anything like to be weird or anything, but I don't listen to that type of music, and like you had me bopping.
Oh, thank you, man.
And even the one of you in the club, like your energy is really that's crazy that you felt like that. You should. Yeah, you should never feel like that. Shout out to Twin for even pushing you, and even shout out to Baby Breeze for pushing you, because like those are the people you need to surround yourself with.
And they are them two are the main ones. If I have any skepticism about anything, I'll be like, what do you think? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Because I trust them wholeheartedly, and I think a lot of times in this business that we're in as women, it's very hard to trust. You know what I mean? You don't really know what to expect when it comes from the men that you encounter. You know what I mean? So to meet these two legends, these two incredible men who, icons, you know what I mean, Charleston. Who they never crossed the line. They've never given me anything less than respect. You know what I'm saying? And positive energy. You know what I mean? Like I just respect them so much. You know what I mean? Yeah, it hits very much differently.
So that's why you're here.
You know, I appreciate it. You know,
so you're shining.
Yeah, man. And then it's just like it's a totally different world from like with acting, because like I wanted to be a Disney kid, so it's just like now I don't know how that would have worked.
I don't think it would have. You would have been one lit Disney kid.
One lit Disney kid. Like I could have seen my contract get ended at like 13. Like
no, you know when they draw the wand, the Mickey Mouse thing, you would have been like, go check this out.
Listen,
it's Joi Giovanni.
And they'll be like, no, that's not how we told you how to do it. But no, that's definitely how I started with the acting side of things. I wanted to be a Disney kid. I loved Lion King. I used to jump up and down on my mom's couch. To this day, I know every single song.
Wow.
I even went.
What's your favorite Disney
movie?
Yeah.
Lion King. Always.
I like Lion King.
Lion King.
I mean, I've seen it probably so much. I think The Hunchback was probably one of my favorites.
I think Hunchback is so like slept on it because it's so good.
I liked it. That was one of my memorable ones.
I loved it though. Now watching it as an adult, because you realize that as you know when you were younger, they really were trying to teach you how to accept people that are different.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said that.
I really love. You can learn so much from Disney.
You can. That's the whole point. It's crazy.
You can learn so much, especially as an adult. But you know, acting is dope. I definitely want to get back into it. It's just like right now my main focus is front stream with the music, behind the scenes with the acting.
That's how you keep it like that, because I think your music is shown for it. And it's all going to match out at the end, if that makes sense. And you're not even going to know what to do. You're going to be like, Should I do
Gotta
this?
juggle.
And this? Yeah. It's alright. That's how it is. You're a jack of all trades. So like, I wanted to ask you, can you always be yourself when you wake up?
Yeah.
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 What solidifies that? What makes you Joi Giovanni when you wake up?
Man.
Is it your attitude, or you know what I mean? Not attitude, but the
You wanna
ego,
know
the
what's
drive.
crazy about that? What makes me is my trauma.
Yeah.
What makes me is my trauma. I always decided that I wanted to be that person that I never allowed my pain or anything that negatively that I went through to diminish me. You know what I'm saying? I always use that as fuel. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times in songs or even on the stage, you'll hear me be like, you know, I got a point to prove. You know what I mean? And it's not to prove a point to anybody else. It's to prove a point to myself, to prove a point to the circumstances that I was in. Because, you know, if you were to, you know, write my life story out and put it on paper, I should have been gone a long time ago.
Right,
you know
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
But through the grace of God and through, you know, my faith and my strength, I'm still here. You know what I mean? So every morning that I wake up, it's just like, you should have been gone. You not. So make the best of today.
No,
you know what
that's
I'm
real.
saying? And that's just how I am. I like to be humble. I love people, and I love to see people win, and I love to see people doing what it is that they really like love. And I love learning from other people too. You know,
that's my favorite part.
like earlier he was talking about Jack, and like Jack, like when we first met, it's so crazy because when I first met Jack, it actually was at an event that I was working, and we had, oh gosh, I can't remember the artist. We brought an artist down at House of Blues in Myrtle Beach, but Jack was getting ready to perform as an opening act, and just to see his confidence, like, I don't know, a lot of people take Jack for cocky, you know what I'm saying, but he's just very confident in what he do. And just to see him and Renz, and they're backstage and they're just playing around and
shout
having, you know, yes, shout out to Renz, and just having this calm, cool collectiveness to them. And then you hand them a mic and it's like he switched, you know what I'm saying, and it's just like, you got the sounds right, you know what I'm saying, like, just to see that, for us to be on this type of level, but just to see him carry that type of professionalism with wanting to make sure the sound was correct, wanting to make sure that the set was correct, and they went out there and they did their thing, you know what I'm saying, this is like
their own thing.
Like, and,
it doesn't,
you know
feel,
what I mean?
I don't feel no type of like any copying whenever I listen to them.
No.
Especially Young Renzo. Young Renzo know what's up, bro. I cried when I saw him in tears.
like,
I seen him perform when I was in 10th grade, 11th grade at Wando.
At school,
and I was like, who is this dude? He has a tail on. Like,
the fox.
It was just, the energy was unmatched. Like, I loved it. Everybody else was like, you know, like, who is that? But I'm like, I gotta find him on SoundCloud.
I get so upset when I see Renzo without that foxtail.
Yeah, and he didn't even come in here with the interview. You gonna see this, Renzo? You didn't bring the foxtail, man. Listen, bro.
That foxtail is everything, but just to like see them in their realm and learn from that. Like, I'll never forget, I didn't know that Jack could play instruments, and we were celebrating a birthday for a friend, and he just pulled out the guitar and it was just like playing it, and I was like, damn, like, I want to do stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to be able to take something from everybody and learn from everybody. I don't look at anything that somebody else does as a competitive factor, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like that may have been a gift or a blessing that was given directly to you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You have something that he may want.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I just love people and I love life, and like I said, I shouldn't be here, but I am here. I'm blessed to be here. So I just wake up every morning and be like, you know what? Stay in my lane, stay consistent to myself, and you like me or you love me, you hate me. You know either way it goes. There's no love lost on my end. I love those who don't even love me. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I feel too.
That's what it is.
Everything happens for a reason. That's why I'm a firm believer on that. But you know, I do want to go over it real quick before we go. Where can we find you on social media?
So you can find me everywhere at Joi Giovanni. It's JoiGiovanni. I always have to spell it out because people spell my name wrong, and it's okay. But I'm everywhere, every single platform. I'm under Joi Giovanni. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Apple,
Rumble.
Everywhere.
You ever heard of Rumble yet?
It's a new you. Yeah.
don't think I'm either.
But you can find me everywhere at that. I try to keep it short, sweet, and simple. Don't add in nothing extra so that you can find me. TikTok, it's the same way. You can find me any and everywhere.
That's good. I love to hear that. I've heard some complicated social media accounts. Like, I really don't know how some of these people be making out. Like me, I started 𝙄𝙦𝙬𝙚 podcast. I instantly already put 𝙄𝙬𝙬𝙚. Like I just. Yeah, nothing against y'all. Love you guys, you know so.
It's
but
too much. It's too much,
it should just be simple. But
I went to a networking event and no lie, this guy. I was like, hey man, like you were good. Like where can I find you at? And his social media name was so long, and then he had like 4 underscores in it, and then it was longer, and I just got tired. And I'm sorry, bro. I probably didn't even follow you because that was just too much typing.
Like, how do you even expect people to follow you?
I need you to shorten that down a couple characters.
Just saying, bro. Like, that's bad business. Like, that's our new card, though. You know what I mean? Our social media is our new card. Like,
it is.
Yo, can you follow? Or how can I stay in contact with Instagram?
Yeah, right.
Some people don't want their number given out.
Instagram is the biggest thing, and then that's another thing too. If you can't find me, if you go to my Instagram, I actually have in my my bio link. There is one single link, and it will take you to everything.
Linktree, yeah, I love it. That's my best friend.
One-stop shop, so you can find me no matter where you're looking at.
I didn't think about that. That's like you got to
right. Just go there. You'll be all right.
And that's smart because not many people think like that. But is there anything you want to go over before we go?
Nothing really besides, you guys, I want to just say thank you. My videos speak up, man. I just feel like it is a blessing. I remember my first video that I dropped. I think the video probably only had like 1,200 views, and the first song I ever dropped on YouTube, I think it had like 250 views. You know what I'm saying? So from the bottom of my heart, I am so grateful and appreciative that Speak Up is at 55,000 views.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much. It is a blessing. The numbers keep going up, and I'm really appreciative for anybody who has ever streamed me, you know what I mean, to be able to see that you're streaming, not even just in the US but outside of the US. That's an absolute blessing. So
keep streaming it too.
Keep streaming it, you guys.
Running it up. And we're gonna talk more about some other stuff because there was a lot that I wanted to talk about.
It's alright.
We're already almost at like 50, but it's like it just shows you that you're destined for greatness.
Man, I
like you have. I already have more questions. I wish I could stay here and talk.
We'll come back.
No, you'll be back. We'll have you back, Joy. I'm not even lying. But y'all know who it is. The only Giovanni.
Hi guys. Thank you.
Joy, thank you again. It's been a privilege, and I can't wait for the next one because y'all know what time it is. Next time we might be in like LA or something, just doing.
Hey, I'm down for it. I need some sun.
Yeah.
A little beach vibe. I'm down for it.
But again, thank you. It's been beautiful. I love every single one of you guys. Remember, stay true to yourself, and the only way to achieve your dreams is through you. No one else is going to do it. You got to get up every single day and grind harder than you did the day before. Okay, guys?
Y'all got it.
Remember, stay true to yourself. Tap in with my girl, Joi Giovanni. This is it. Peace.
Bye, guys.